Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. Let's jump in. We're gonna do top 10 LRs. We got the Christmas LR, Gotenks, LR Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and is easily strong enough. Let's zoom it in. Let's a little zoomed out. Let's zoom it in a little bit. Gotenks is easily good enough to be in here, right? Easily. So let's just jump right in. I'm going to do top 15. I don't know how long I'm going to do top 15. It's kind of like a vibes thing. I don't know. Like, I just describe it like that. Vibes are good. I feel like we could do top 15 LRs. It's not really a stretch. I feel like maybe some of the last couple of LRs might even have more discussion around them than some of the top ones. I don't know. Let's just start here. This is the first tier list we're doing where Global has everything JP does as well. Cell Max drops down quite a bit for me. The thing is, as the game has evolved since Cell Max has come out, I do think that his conditions, right? He has conditions everywhere, Cell Max. I don't really have the biggest problem with that as a yellow Queen LR. It's not like he's not like a leader character or something like that. Doesn't really drive me that nuts. But now we have much better rosters of teams where Cell Max doesn't mesh the greatest. But Cell Max does have, like, you know how Legends has, like, what is it? It's like character traits, right? It's not like tag stuff. Like they'll do, like, the trait section. If this was in Dokkan, I would have one called the Closer, right? And this would be characters. LR Family Kamehameha would have it. Transform AGL LR Broly would have it. I would want to give it to Tech UI Goku, but it's very difficult from the damage Goku and Frieza, but you guys understand the type of character I'm talking about, right? Like a Closer. Easy A Tech Broly would have that as well, right? Stuff like that. Cell Max has got that. At the hardest fight in the game, he will put it away instantly and effortlessly. He will. His active skill, Goku and Frieza can do nothing to him. He has type advantage against 17 and Golden Frieza. Now, I don't know what my ranking process is for the tough fights. It's like Goku and Frieza 50%, Gogeta and Janemba 30%, Bulma 20%. I don't know, maybe Bulma 10%, and then the extra 10% is other fights or something like that. It's something like that. Like the Goku and Frieza fight, that's the fight that's got several different toxic mechanics. The boss is actually doing stuff rather than just sitting there and letting you, because it's like when you could just build rotations, build teams of anything, and you just steamroll these fights, because we have Dokkan. It's the best year in Dokkan history. All the characters are well designed. All the characters have strong kits. Even the characters with the worst designed kits, Broly comes to mind, is just a god, right? So, it's like the Goku and Frieza fight is the only fight that can really do anything, because the boss is actually taking control out of your hands, which the boss has to do, otherwise it's an easy fight, basically. So, I dropped Cell Max mostly because, better characters come out, right, that we're going to want to use instead, or, the fights get tougher and characters going to start taking a ton of damage. Cell Max can dominate the Goku and Frieza fight, but, I mean, he's solid in Bulma. But he's terrible in Gogeta and Janemba, right? Like, just he's horrible. Maybe the next one will be a little controversial. I do think Buhan, especially with Dokkan Fest TUR Buhan, I think Buhan is worthy of being on this list. Now, I will say, I mean, you could run Buhan pretty easily in Gogeta and Janemba. He probably works better than Cell Max does in there, and the main reason for that is he's got a chance to dodge. It's like, I mean, I don't really want to get into, like, the, dodge talk all the time and stuff like that. But when it comes to, like, okay, the fight's starting out right away, Gogeta and Janemba will just kill so many of your characters. Gotenks is at least giving you a chance with dodging ability, as opposed to many other characters who just die instantly, right? Now, when he transforms, he can be very good. He's also on several different teams. A lot of these characters are. It's like, I don't know, people use teams in a way to discredit characters they don't like, and then credit characters they do like, I think is what people often use teams for. To me, I've specifically seen people talk about Super Easy Beerus having no teams, and my rebuttal to that would be, what the fuck are you talking about, right? It's what I would say. Completely made up. Buhan is on several different teams, and so are most of the characters we have here. Once he's in Buhan, he's got a lot of dodge, he's got a lot of stats. I mean, him stacking up and, you know, getting a lot of super attacks to build up these stats can factor in quite a bit. But I like this guy. I think Buhan is effective. Next, we have Carnival Gogeta here. Carnival Gogeta is very good. He is another character you maybe could potentially give that closer tag to, although it's a little bit more specific with him. In base, he's not really that good. I was not crazy about base Gogeta when he came out, which is now 11 months ago. So, I mean, we can only imagine how he's aged. I don't even like to use Gogeta at all in the Gogeta and Janemba fights because we're mostly just relying on hidden potential system dodge. That's it, right? Now, after he transforms, he becomes a dynamo. He's got the permanent stacking crit with every dodge, right? His active skill's one of the strongest in the game, easily. You know, he could decimate these end-level bosses. Fantastic for the Goku and Frieza fight, and of course the Bulma fight as well. But for like the Gogeta and Janemba fights, he's not really the craziest. He's got a great toolkit though. He's hung in there, still very effective. And I think he could easily be a nice option if we're gonna have 10th anniversary. Have a lot of fusion characters, which I think is very likely. Gogeta's probably gonna continue to stick around for quite a while. All right, next we'll grab Jiren. I feel like this is the Jiren right here. Yeah, I guess so. Wait, hold on. Yeah, all right. So here's Jiren. Yeah, this is the first time I've done one of these lists where we're caught up. Everything is on both versions, all fights, everything. So that's perfect. Jiren is it's funny. I'm not the biggest fan of him in base, although this ability is very good for the Gogeta and Janemba fights where he can get massacred by Gogeta and Janemba, but they usually don't attack that much. So, like, maybe Gogeta will have one attack in slot 3, and you know that's a double super for Gogeta. But you could put Jiren right there, and he'll just attack break it. Boom, you're good on his first turn. And then the next time he comes back, you know, we know how Jiren gets down. He has 100% damage reduction. What does 100% damage reduction means? It means he cannot be damaged by anything because he has 100% damage reduction. And he could do, you know, he's supporting, he's rainbow, or well, not rainbow changing, but type orb changing. He's pretty effective. I like him. I've liked Jiren at around this level for quite a while, right? So Jiren is right there. I don't really use full power much. I mean, sometimes we could use him to, you know, I always go, all right, let's cheat. And what I mean is we'll transform into Jiren, look at the scouter on the turn, and then I'll reset and just stay in the 100% damage reduction phase, right? But like I usually just don't even really stay in full power mode. I mean, it's not, people, you know, they caveman brain, oh my God, 50 million attacks, and oh, Pog, it's so fire. But like, you know, I prefer kind of like the utility and the defensive ability he has in his secondary phase. Because like, remember, here's the thing. Every character, like all good characters, are tanking like champs in slot 2 and shit, right, guys? We all know. They're all tanking like champs in slot 2. It's slot 1. That's what you need. It's just that's what separates the best characters in the game. I'm sorry that it comes down to that, but it does. Next 3 we could just move through quick. Tech UI in Evolution Blue Vegeta and AGL UI. We can just go ahead and hammer these guys out. Now, the thing about these characters, they're very good, and they also have very high highs as well. God damn, UI at 9 and him at 10? I mean, these are the best 11, 10, 9 ever. Yeah, holy shit, if I just did a top 10, look at the characters that would be gone if we just did a top 10. That's crazy. That's why I did top, like, I can't just do a top 10. To not have Tech UI here would be crazy, but, dude. Okay, Tech UI is really good. Because of the way he's set up, he gives you a chance everywhere. Because he's got dodge all over, guard and damage reduction like, he's got that shit everywhere. So he gives you a really good chance. And he gives you a really good chance in slot 1, which we really care about. But he's just not that crazy in base. His base form is light years ahead of AGL Jiren and Physical Gogeta and AGL Broly. Like, those characters base tech UI is way above them, because of the dodge, right? It's just how it is. And he's got the 70% chance to crit and stuff like that. Pretty good. But, you know, where he becomes like a top character in the game is obviously once you transform. His condition is still at the biggest thorn in his side. It's so funny. Both Jiren and Tech UI are kind of like the intended characters for the Goku and Frieza fight, but the Goku and Frieza fight counters both of them so damn hard, right? Jiren can get insta-killed by Android 17 easily and effortlessly. Goku, there is a very good chance you're going to be on 17 and Golden Frieza before you're ready to transform to Mastered UI, which means you can't dodge, and, I mean, he could potentially get brutalized. I do think Tech UI Goku in a good base Tech UI in a good situation, you know, where he like triple supers in slot 2 or something like that, can hang in there nicely, especially as opposed to like AGL UI who can't really, you know, so that is possible. But then there's also the Goku and Frieza phase, where this guy, he's a counter character. He's a character that's designed to whittle the enemy down with a bunch of big like hits, and that shit just doesn't work against a damage threshold boss. I mean, you know, if this guy dropped during the 9th anniversary, I mean, he'd be dominating everything. It'd be awesome. But, I mean, unfortunately, we're in kind of just this... I mean, and, you know, there's not going to be, like, a new tough fight for a little bit. Like, what we've got is what we've got. That's why, like, people in Worldwide were talking about, like, oh, that's right, you're still doing Goku and Frieza. It's like, fuckers, we're going to be doing Goku and Frieza until February. What are you talking about? Like, it's like Fusion Zamasu, man. Fusion Zamasu is entire winner last year. Like, this was going to happen. So, you know, buckle in. Now... You know, if it was easier for him to do damage against Goku and Frieza, sure, right? But you need a nice specific setup. Evolution Blue Vegeta is great, but he's just great in slot 2. All right, it's turn 1 when he's guarding, he can handle it. His revive, you're not getting it in Janemba, you're not getting it in Gogeta. It's very difficult to get it in the Goku and Frieza fight. If people argue with me that, you're just wrong. I'm at this point, I'm sorry that, you know, some people get upset when I talk like that, but I mean, I've been around a long time. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, bro, I know what I'm talking about with that. Like, it's very difficult with 17 locking, and then you don't have the luxury. 17 and Golden Frieza, a lot of times you have to play it very carefully. It's not up to you if Vegeta gets the hits to get his revive up. Now, after Vegeta revives, he could go slot, like if he's got his guard and his damage reduction and he's fully built up and he's got his revive buff, I mean, yeah, he could go slot 1. But it's very rare to see that, very specific. He can be killed. We've already gotten to the point where he could be killed in slot 2, by the way. It was in the AGL Vegeta long video. I mean, I guess it was a 1 in a million chance back to back. But we had this guy die once in slot 2. He took 1 million from 17 and Golden Frieza. And then the next run in slot 3, he took 1 million from 17 and Golden Frieza. Where he just supers, normal, and then they super, and he's dead. Right? It's within the realm of possibility. You're not going to see it that often, but it's something that can happen. Right? So keep that in mind. But he's very good, though. I mean, him and AGL UI have dominated the game all year. AGL UI, I love him. But here's the thing. I mean, I see a lot of people, okay, there's baiters, like just yesterday there was, you know, Dumbo's baiting, oh, he's potential man, like, stop. No, he's not. Like, stop. You're lying. This guy's not potential man at all. But he is a character 100% predicated on dodging. And 17 and Golden Frieza exists. So, like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's actually, like, top 5. Oh, what if I said he's, like, top 2? Like, I love it. He is crazy, but he gets hard fucking countered by 17 and Golden Frieza, man. A lot of times I don't even like using him in the Goku and Frieza fight just because it's like, listen, any character is good when things just go perfectly your way. Cybermen are good if things go perfectly your way, right? But you go into that 17, like that Goku and Frieza fight, it's so easy for this guy to get massacred. Now, you could maybe have his revive up, but again, it's not, his revive condition is HP under 77%. Where's it? Right here. Sometimes you'll have it, sometimes you won't. If you've got it, you're good. If you don't, well, you're in trouble, right? If you've got Tech UI Goku, maybe you have his domain up to where he could dodge and then he destroys 17 and Golden Frieza. Maybe it doesn't work like that. Remember that UI Goku is one of the strongest characters in terms of decimating, like, the Goku and Frieza phase once you get there. But, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, that 17 and Golden Frieza, I've had this guy die so many times from that phase because they dodge cancel, right? That's just, you know, and the Goku and Frieza fight is the biggest thing for me. So, I mean, maybe we could consider, if we pretend that phase didn't exist, we could bump him up, but it exists. So, all right, next, Int Broly. 8? Wow, damn. There's just so many good characters. Int Broly has just been steadily moving up my list. I think that this guy is the worst designed, best character ever. That's my official stance on him. His kit is a mess. It's terrible. Horrible design. But he's a god. Like, he rises above it. He's just so strong. A lot of it, though, is it's purely predicated on this, right? You want to make sure you have this domain up. So you're either fighting a Goku family enemy or full uncontrollable power. And then when his domain up and he's got the big damage reduction and he's got the guard, he's a very effective character. I think he has one of the best revives in the game, easily, right? It's the same as Tech UI. It's just his third turn is the easiest way to think about it. That's what that means. Fifth turn from character's entry turn means his third rotation. And then from there, you just have a revive up at all times, which is really good. But he generates, I think a lot of the difference between me with Int Broly and, you know, people who, again, for characters people like, they'll gas them, they'll talk about them at 100% potential. Oh, he could do this, he could do that, he could do this. But is it shit you actually see too often? Because for me, you don't really see this stuff right here. He's a different beast entirely if you have everything I've got highlighted up. But it's not quite so simple as just having that shit up, right? I do wish you change 2 or 3, I'm talking you change 1 word. There's like 3 words you change in this guy's kit, and he is 1, right? Like, he is just purely held back by the fact that a kindergartner designed his kit. That's all. But he's very good. And, I mean, he's just steadily gone up a little bit in terms of some of these characters. In my head, I was thinking this time, for sure, I'm getting Int Broly above them, Goku, Gohan, and Trunks, but I just couldn't do it. And we'll see. I couldn't get there. This character can get killed pretty easily. People pretend it's not true, but it is true. This character is way better when there's not a charging standby blocking it to where you could just go into this character's at all times. But remember, they got power crept in 2 weeks. 2 weeks after they came out, they no longer had the best charging standby anymore. Now it's the Family Kamehameha, which directly hurt and power crept this character. When many people talk about how, like, you know, like, I'm lower on this character than other people, they just don't fucking mention that. Like, that is a huge deal because this guy is very consistent defensively in most situations, right? He does need a lot of orbs, but I've not found it to be very tough for him to get those physical orbs because Goku, Gohan, and Trunks will be creating physical orbs. Then you transform into this guy, and then he changes Int orbs into physical. So you're probably going to be looking pretty good. I found this guy to be very consistent if it's available for us to use him. Another thing about this character that does, people besides me, I don't really see much discussion of it. This character is actually heavily restricted. They are only on this level right here. They're only on this level with what I have highlighted activated. If that's not activated, they are not even close to a top 10 LR at all. They're just flat out not. You must have this ability up. If you're running their team and you have one on each rotation giving this defense to each turn, it gets very impressive, right? They can be very good, but they also can die very easily. Many spots they could die. I've had this character, like, I would love to see, like, top 10 character deaths on the channel this year. This character's in it, for 100%. They have top 10 most deaths. Them, Harudegarn to be in there. I wonder if AGL UI Goku would be in there just all the runs in Goku and Frieza. I feel like he potentially could be. Who else would just would have died a lot? Broly-chan Lemo probably. You know, like characters like that would have had many deaths this year. I don't know, maybe Topo or Special Pose characters would have had a lot of deaths. Gotenks, Kefla, a lot of those types of characters. I would love to see that. Character deaths on the channel this year. This character would be up. I think they would be up there. I think so. Yeah, but there's them. All right, now we move into Janemba. Damn, I'm really chatting away with this one, huh? But I mean, these are the best units in the game, so. Janemba's a character who, every time he gets a character, people seem to underrate the shit out of him. He's just very crazy. I think that, one thing people really discount with him is his ridiculous rage mode turn, which, you know, once you get to turn 6, you'll have that, which can, be a team protection mechanic, take away a boss super attack. Now, for what it is, that like the way these giant forms work is you go into the giant form or rage mode, and then it still technically is the same turn, right? Then, let's say Goku and Frieza, they could super attack once per turn. Then they super attack while you're in the rage mode. You leave the rage mode, and it's still the same turn, technically. Let's just say it's turn 7. They've already used up their super on turn 7, so they can't super. So it functions like a team protector mechanic. Where Janemba's type would struggle, where it's only a one turn, like you only get one rotation in his rage mode, would be if it's a double supering boss. Goku and Frieza, static, 100% of the time super. So you will 100% of the time cancel it with this, unless there was like a revive, or sometimes character revives and ghost ushers can mess with the behavior of the game or whatever. You'll see funky stuff sometimes if you've just used a revive or a ghost usher. Keep that in mind. But outside, if it's just a regular situation, 100% of the time, this will cancel Goku and Frieza super attack. Or it could be very good against 17 and Golden Frieza as well. But besides that, he's just very good. He could get killed turn 1, slot 1 easily by Gogeta. But, I mean, that's the thing about him, is he does have a high chance to dodge supers, right? Once he gets his build up right here, this guy is one of the stronger tanks that we have access to. This is the best character in the game that has big bad bosses. Or is it Dokkan Fest Buhan? I don't really care. It's one of the, I haven't really thought like which one I like better. But it's one of the, it's between those two. This is at least the best LR with big bad bosses for sure, right? Maybe I would like Dokkan Fest Buhan slightly. I don't think so. I think I would like LR Janemba above Buhan. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I think so. But regardless. A lot of characters, by the way, have got Ki Blast bullshit, huh? Gotenks has got it. Janemba's got it. You know, AJLTUR Super Saiyan 3 Goku's got it. Carnival Gogeta, who we talked about's got it. This is a good spot for Janemba. Now, this is where I would put in Gotenks, actually. I like Gotenks quite a bit. You know, remember, if it's any other year, I mean, Gotenks is maybe even number 1. Where is he? Right here? Yeah, let's get Gotenks in. I look at Gotenks as a little bit of a better Janemba. He's Janemba that doesn't need to build up, and he's Rainbow Orb changing. He doesn't have a team protector mechanic, though. So if you wanted to argue Janemba above Gotenks, that would be the area where you would do it. Now, a lot of people have complained about this a lot, but, I mean, it's basically, it's the same thing Janemba's got. High chance to dodge enemy super. It's basically the same thing. Because as of right now, eventually, Janemba's ability will be better. It's just going to be outright better as bosses start to hit even harder and harder and harder. But probably through all of 2025, this right here is going to function essentially just as a high chance to dodge. You really should just think of him as a dodge character. It sounds absurd to say tank or die, which is true. But that's why, like, it's just think of, he is kind of a dodge or die against some of the biggest supers. And I mean, we could go down a whole rabbit hole. Like, I saw arguments of like, oh, Tech, or, no, not Tech UI. STRUI's got a higher chance to dodge. But, like, that's just ignoring, like, waves and waves of context. Like, we're not going to compare STRUI Goku to Carnival Gotenks. It's just comedy, right? But, yeah, whatever. Anyway, this is good. It's better than nothing. With his active skill and stuff like that, in a lot of these situations, he can be very tanky. Now, maybe some people would say, oh, well, he's so good in slot 2. Remember, once we start talking about these characters just sitting in slot 2, they kind of are losing their hold on, like, top 10 talks. I'm just telling y'all. Any character can just sit there in slot 2 and tank, man. I'm sorry. It's just anyone can do it. It's all characters could do it. If you're a good character, you get tank at slot 2, right? Like, when we're talking about the big boys, it's slot 1. That's the shit that matters, right? Like, because, like, when we talk about, like, the Bulma fight, they'll say, Bulma can't be tough because you could just stun her. But Bulma can attack first. So, she cocks up that the machine gun is, yeah. She pulls that machine gun out before you could stun her. What happens then, right? Like, you got to be able to handle slot 1. Slot 1. Very important. Now, I think we could kind of move a little quicker through the top 4 because, I mean, just spoiler alert, it's unchanged for me. I saw no reason to change the way I had it previously. I could certainly see people disagreeing with, like, Tech Gogeta at 1 because, like, Tech Gogeta, like, the base Goku and Vegeta, they certainly could get cooked up by a super attack from, like, Gogeta or Janemba turn 1. They can also live turn 1, though. Like, it's not guaranteed death with them. That, I think, is something that's really big. We'll just talk about all 4 of these characters, like, kind of in a row real quick. We'll start with 1. So, again, in base, they're much better than people give them credit for. But, again, like, Gogeta, like, in slot 1 or something like that, can smoke them up. They are a character that's able to handle slot 1. Let's say 17 lock them in slot 1, right? You know, in that Goku and Frieza fight, they can handle that, no problem. Once they transform into Gogeta, I've had a few times where the HP condition has come into play. The thing about HP conditions, sometimes it'll matter, sometimes it won't. But once he comes out, it's done. He's Rainbow Orb changing, he's invincible, he's got dodge, he's giving you Scouter. Now, I am not as high on Scouter as other people. I think context matters quite a bit. Right now, in the current state of the game, it can be useful against STR Bulma, I guess, sometimes. But to me, the Scouter has real value against 17 and Golden Frieza. That's where you're going to get your Scouter value. Or, I mean, turn 1 against Gogeta and Janemba, it's very good. But this guy is the minimum you'll see him is turn 4. Right, so like the Piccolo and Vegeta exchange character, like I like using them against Gogeta and Janemba sometimes to get that Scouter for the first couple of turns. But in the territory where Gogeta could have the Scouter, 17 and Golden Frieza is where it's really useful. I feel like this character, are the 10th anniversary bosses going to be bullying this? I don't know. Maybe a little bit as I'm kind of looking towards what's going to happen potentially with 10th anniversary. I probably like this more than the other characters right behind him. I do think, damn, Gotenks, Janemba. Could you argue Janemba is 1? I guess. I mean, the Team Protector mechanic makes it possible. You could order a lot of these in your own fashion, and I don't really think it's crazy. They're all really good. Again, these are this is the best top 10, best top 5, best top 15, best top 20, best top 25 we've ever had, right? So there's a lot of different ways you could definitely do this, and I do think it would be fairly legitimate, actually. So there's him. Gohan is a little different from what I typically like. I think this guy sucks, turn 1. So I'm looking at him. He is terrible turn 1. Typically, I like characters who are beasts right away. That's what I prefer. Just, the bullshit starts of a fight, horrible rotations, horrible RNG, and a character can rise above it with greatness. Think of like HLUI Goku, 100% dodge turn 1. This guy sucks turn 1. But then you just get to a second turn, and it's over. It's done. This character can't take damage, and then they literally is at the actual representation of a character that could kill the boss before they kill you with the Family Kamehameha, which can and does usually one-shot like the Goku and Frieza fight and shit like that, right? Now, this is going to get power crept because there's going to be a better charging standby, probably in the 10th. That's the problem. Standbys, domains, and shit like that, I mean, they're always just, they're the best when they're the best, and then just overnight, boom, it's gone. It's done, right? When a better version comes out. Right now, they're the best charging standby. So, they're just going to be up here. Now, Gohan can get killed turn 1. If he doesn't get killed turn 1, he's probably going to win you the fight, period. Right? Now, yes, it's possible that, you could have this guy, let's say, turn 2. You take a little bit of damage turn 1, and you can just instantly go into a standby. You can do that. But typically, that's not the type of luck I'm encountering. But I saw no reason to drop this character down. I think because of how weak this guy is turn 1, which he is, he can become, when this is built up, he gets really crazy. But, I mean, this is, it has to build up. Like, he's got to build up. That's why I say turn 1, right? Like, it's not, this character doesn't suck. He just sucks turn 1. Once he gets going, he really gets going. And, I mean, he could kill Goku and Frieza probably just with these attacks if he's built up quite a bit. Beast is Beast. I don't know that I really need to talk about him too much. We get it. We know. The difference between Beast and Tech Broly for me is just that Beast has the Team Protector mechanic, which you could just do the second turn, right? That, to me, is just, simply put, the difference between these two. Tech Broly is stronger turn 1, as long as he's in slot 1, but guess what? That's where it really matters, by the way. So that's good. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. And then his first, so he has this invincible, and then his first 2 rotations in this guy, he's invincible. But the way it works is he has 3 turns where he's not taking damage. Beast has 4 turns where he's not taking damage too, right? Well, I mean, Gogeta and Janemba right away, they could do a little bit more damage to Beast than they could to Tech Broly, that's for sure. Tech Broly could do more damage, but it's just, when you're running good teams of good characters, damage is not usually, like, the struggle. I mean, I guess, some setups certainly is a thing where, like, we lose the Goku and Frieza's damage threshold bullshit, but usually we're not losing these runs, and it's like, damn, if only I had more damage. Oh, if only we had a lot more damage, we would have won. Not how it goes. The way it's always been in this game, and will be until the end of time, until, no matter what, defense is better than offense. Just how it is, sorry. Sorry. So there's that. So here's what I've got right here. I don't know. I just didn't really see the need to split it up. I think we probably could cut it off maybe right here. And I could get Gogeta, Buhan, and Cell Max maybe a level down. But it gets difficult to do that because at, like, Cell Max with his active skill up, at, like, is he 2 levels below, like, Beast or something like that? No, he's not. So it gets, that's why, like, I think I felt most comfortable just putting that up right there. I was very close to either dropping them down or putting Broly up. I was really trying to do it, but I could not, I don't know. I felt dirty. It felt wrong to drop them down. And it also felt wrong to put, like, Broly a tier above some of these guys. I don't know. It just doesn't really feel right to me. So, this is what we're going to end with. There's some movement here. I mean, it's been quite a while since we did this. A lot of different, stuff. I did just get Gogeta up there, move Cell Max over. I did move Broly up. I guess the top row is exactly the same. Gotenks has just jumped in, but then I did do some changes there. By the way, kind of this, like, top row are, like, the characters who will be in the discussion next. If I did a 16, spot 16, I'd really be looking at AGL Broly, 17 in Golden Frieza, Future Gohan, I don't know. Probably AGL Broly is the one I'd probably want to try and get up there. 17 in Golden Frieza is really good too, but I mean, with them, it is, they're invincible in slot 2 and 3, like everyone else. We can talk. Same thing of Future Gohan. Future Gohan's invincible in slot 2 and 3. It's just, like everyone else, right? Unfortunately, that's how it goes. So, yep, there we go. Here, let's just go ahead and hit a little zoom out. Get a nice little look at it. Yeah, quite a bit here. Let me know what you guys think about the top 15 that I've got placed here. I feel pretty good about this. I saw a lot of discussion. So a lot of people have been doing tier lists. Remember that you're never going to get... how can I end this wording it correctly? One thing is I don't want to be rude, but there's never going to be 2 tier lists that people are going to agree with. And I mean, people are always going to respond negatively to tier. Like, it's not a Dokkan, like, oh, the Dokkan community is bad. Or, oh, the Dragon Ball community is bad. It's, dude, it's sports, League of Legends, Call of Duty. Like, it's going to be the same everywhere, right? Like, it's just, like, you know, you guys feel free to tell me I'm the biggest fucking idiot in the world. It's fine. You go ahead. You can. But I feel good about this. I feel good about this one right here. Yeah. Yeah. Only thing, like I was saying, was I wanted to try and maybe, like, maneuver either Int Broly up or Goku, Gohan, and Trunks down, but I kind of just settled on this. Maybe we could move, like, Gogeta, Buhan, Cell Max down to S, but I don't know that that's really the biggest deal ever, so. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'll catch y'all next time.